For that showcase, we are thrilled to welcome in Katie Schumacher-Cawley, head coach of Penn State, the defending national champs. Coach, we'll get to that season and the showcase tonight in just a bit, but some things are bigger than sports, including life and health. And I know in February, after that October diagnosis of cancer, you were able to ring the bell after 6 rounds of chemo. So most importantly, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Thank you. Yep, I had surgery in March. I'm feeling good, and I'll have a little follow-up treatment here coming up, but I'm feeling really good.
I know after that last round of chemo and ringing the bell, you posted on Instagram to multiple people, your family, but also your players. And you said, to paraphrase to the players, that they would probably never truly fully understand how much energy and life they gave you as you were going through that battle. What did they mean to you through the course of the year?
I mean, they mean the world to me, but, to show up to the gym, that was, my best part of the day, seeing all of them in the gym, working hard and being great teammates. They kept it going for me all season, and I appreciate everything that they did. And, I have the most amazing staff ever that went above and beyond to make sure that things were handled and, that we were just in the best position we could be in.
Just an unbelievable position at the end of the year, the position that everybody wants to be in. But sometimes in that moment, you're not able to realize the magnitude of the accomplishment. So how long did it take you to truly realize and allow to sink in what you and this team had accomplished last year?
I don't think I've fully have let it sink in yet. It's just been, the team has done so many things this semester, all these congratulations. It's been amazing. I'm so grateful for all the support, but, it is a new team now, a new semester, and we're training hard and getting some new kids in. And, but it's, that's something that I'll never forget. And, I know the returners are doing a lot of work with the new players and wanting to get back to where we were this year.
See a lot of the celebration there after that last point in the national championship match win over Louisville. What did those hugs feel like? Is there a way to put into words what that embrace meant, especially with the players who you knew were wearing that jersey for the last time?
I'm so proud of our 5 seniors. They're going on and they're going to do amazing things in this world, but they put the time in and they led this group to winning. And, they did the right things on and off the court that made them really special. And, just my staff, I was so thankful for everything that they did, when days I couldn't be there. And, like I said, everyone just stepped up, from the staff to the administration to this community. I'm truly blessed to be in the position I am.
And when you're in the midst of something like that, sometimes you don't realize exactly what you've been through, but we were here in studio covering it all. And when you look back at the actual run through the tournament bracket, you have to battle back against Creighton in the Elite Eight, the ultimate battle back against Nebraska in the national semis. And then you come back to win the last 2 sets in the national championship match after multiple chances to close out the second. That 34-32 second set was maybe the craziest I've ever seen, certainly on that stage. So why did this team just keep believing no matter what was happening?
They were pushed every day in practice, and they showed up every day. And so, it was, I don't think they ever doubted that they can come back and win and finish. And, they were put in situations in practice, and they excelled there and demanded excellence all the time. And, they were confident. They were confident in their abilities and trusted their skills.
Katie, you also became the first female head coach to lead a Division I team to a national title. How significant is that, not just for you, but for every other female head coach out there in the country?
I never really thought of it as that, as being the first female. I like to win. I like to win for Penn State. And obviously, I think, it's an exciting time in volleyball and women's athletics. And, I'm proud to represent Penn State and the players that came before me, and, Coach Rose and the legacy that he's left. And so I never really thought of it as being the first female, but I'll tell you what, it was a great feeling to win.
And now you'll represent Penn State for a little while longer. You signed that contract extension that'll keep you in State College for at least 2030. And you mentioned Russ Rose. Katie, at the end of that, you'll only be 34 seasons away from matching
God.
Russ's tenure. So is that the goal?
Gosh, I mean, I don't know how he did it for that long. I really don't. But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to stay here.
In all seriousness, what does that agreement mean for the program in terms of recruiting, in terms of stability, in terms of all those things that every player wants when they're deciding where they want to go play the highest level of volleyball?
You know, I think just to say that I'm staying here at Penn State, and I love this school, I love this program, and I want to do the best I can representing it. And I'm grateful for Pat Kraft extending me and seeing our vision, and making sure that we're moving things in the right direction.
And of course, now you have to try and replace some of that production that you lost to eligibility last year. You do have some returners back, but obviously, let's be honest, you lost some really good players that you won't have back this coming season. Obviously, Izzy Stark was one of, if not the best freshman in the country a year ago. Who else is ready to maybe take that next step and keep this program where it is right now?
You know, I think we have quite a few leaders in the gym right now that are trying to find their way. But, we have Jill Grimes coming back, Caroline Jaravicius, Maggie Mendelson, Jordan Hopp is a senior. I think everyone will make an impact. Of course, Izzy and, even Ava Faldudo played a ton last season as a freshman. I look for all of them to continue to make an impact and to pull the others along with them.
Were you surprised or just continually impressed by Izzy's ability as a young player to be able to consistently play as well as she did on the biggest stage?
I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm impressed for sure, but she puts the effort and the time in. She's always getting extra reps, watching film, asking questions. She wants to be great. She wants to help her teammates, and she's only getting better and better, and she works really hard, and I'm proud of her for, what she does on the court, but she's an excellent student and does the right things off the court.
You mentioned Caroline Jaravicius. We saw her in multiple matches last year show a skill set that made you wonder just how good she can be. What's her ceiling?
Yeah, I mean, she has no idea how good she can be. And, she continues to get strong in the weight room and, just getting better in all of her skills and feeling confident and comfortable. I mean, the sky's the limit for her. And, she's putting the effort and the time in right now. And I'm excited to see, her compete tonight along with everyone else and see where this takes her. I mean, this is a big spring for this group and growing and finding leadership and fine-tuning their skills.
And tonight should be fantastic. It's Pitt. I mentioned reigning AVCA National Player of the Year, Olivia Babcock, with the Panthers as well. What do you want to see from your team, and what do you want them to take away from an experience like the one they'll have tonight?
Well, I think just having the opportunity to compete against Pitt, to be on TV, to play at home. I know we'll have a good crowd, but I want them to compete hard, and I want us to do some things that we've been working on in practice and being okay with making some errors, but being really aggressive. It'll be a great atmosphere, and obviously Pitt will be very good. And, I know Dan Fisher and his staff do a wonderful job, and it'll be fun to see two PA teams competing.
And it'll be great that we have it here on the Big Ten Network at 7 Eastern, but the better seat would be courtside to be able to watch it. And you brought up the home matches, and your fan base, for anybody that's been to one of your games at home, is just absolutely crazy. For those who haven't been there, how do you best describe a home game, especially when you have a top-tier opponent in town?
Yeah, I mean, our wrecking crew is our student section, and they are loud and into it. Our team loves having them there. I mean, the atmosphere is electric. It is loud. Everyone loves to watch volleyball. I think we have great fans that really like to see good volleyball, and it's a atmosphere like no other. It's good old rec hall, and there's not a whole lot of fancy, shiny stuff in there, but it's our gym, and we love it.
Katie, I know you and I had the chance to talk about this during volleyball media days last fall, but what's it been like to return to your alma mater and be the head coach during a time of popularity that this sport has maybe never experienced before?
I mean, it's a dream come true. You know, when I came back with Coach Rose, I was so happy to be back here and to help him and to be in the position that I was in and just to be a part of Penn State. It's really special. And, you know, like I said, the community here and just the love I have for the university and for this program. And, you know, it's an amazing place to have a family and to just experience the greatness all around.
That greatness and the unbelievable talent level has led to the popularity of this sport. So now, Katie, the question becomes, how do we keep this popularity and the interest in volleyball continuing in the right direction? Obviously, spring showcases like the one you're playing tonight against Pitt certainly helps. What else can we do to make sure this upward trajectory continues for women's volleyball?
Well, I mean, I just, you know, thanks to you guys and Big Ten Network, you know, we've never been on TV for spring. And I think that this has taken a big step forward. And I'm happy that we're one of the teams that's going to be on and that our team can experience this and that, you know, everyone can watch. I mean, it's amazing time to be a part of college athletics and, you know, just the exposure that we're getting. And, you know, my players embrace that and know that they need to be doing the right things and being able to be on national TV like this is something really special. And, you know, we don't take for granted.
Katie Schumacher-Cawley, head coach of Penn State women's volleyball. Coach Katie, appreciate the time. Enjoy tonight with your team taking on Pitt at home in a match you can see right here on the Big Ten Network. Look forward to seeing what you guys have up the sleeves as you try to defend that national championship.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.